episode 82 of the All the Books Show, the official podcast of the David A. Howe Public Library, where we talk book news, literary news, and author news.
All of the above.
Yep. I'm Eric Mickles.
I'm Nick Gunning.
That was Nick Gunning.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to
step on a little bit. Go ahead.
No, it wasn't a bit.
Oh, okay.
I was just going to say that voice you are hearing is Nick Gunning.
I would have liked that.
And then I would have said we spared no expense.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like Sam Jackson, I'm constantly referencing, I don't know what I just said, referencing.
Yeah.
I'm going to lie down now.
Are you going to finish? You're constantly referencing?
I'm constantly referencing Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay.
Like
All
Sam
right.
Jackson.
Yeah.
In King Kong.
Right.
It's not King Kong. It's Kong.
Kong.
Skull Island.
In which he quoted
Hang on to your butts.
from...
Very early on in the film.
Yeah, from
early
They
enough.
just had to get it out of the way.
Yeah, he said it before they even left the ship
Yeah,
to
he
fly
did.
to the island. So at that point, there was still potential that they were flying to Isla Sorna.
Yeah.
Or Isla Nubla.
That's true.
I'm not picky about the island. Site
know.
A, Site
I know
B.
you don't care.
It's all Jurassic Park to me.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
but no,
well,
it was actually they just went to Skull Island.
They went to
And
Skull
they
Island.
Yeah, it was Kong.
He walked around in the water for a while. And
Yeah.
was more or less it.
Wow.
Anyway, today we're going to be talking about Daniel Handler, a.k.a. Lemony Snicket.
Oh, I was
yes.
confused for a second. I'm like, wait, I planned poorly.
Focusing mostly on the Lemony Snicket
Persona.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yes. We have a guest star, maybe an extra guest star. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But before we start, I wanted to mention that last week, March 8th, was International Women's Day. And on that day, the Bailey's Prize for, Bailey's Women's Prize for Fiction winners, was announced, their long list. So... Mm-hmm. This prize is one of the United Kingdom's most prestigious literary prizes, annually awarded to a female author of any nationality for the best original full-length novel written in English and published in the UK in the preceding year. So the long list was announced last week, so I wanted to tell you what they are, and we'll continue to follow this award when they announce the short list. We'll let you know, and we'll talk the winners when the time comes. So your long list is Midwinter by Fiona Melrose. Mm-hmm. The Sport of Kings, by C.E. Morgan.
I'd also read Port of Kings.
Yeah, I know you would. The Woman Next Door.
Sail into that port, the one of kings. There you go.
The Woman Next Door by Yewande Omatoso. The Lonely Hearts Hotel by Heather O'Neill.
Lonely Hearts Book Club Hotel.
Maybe.
That's where we go to have our overnight.
Yeah, that's true. That's weird.
I didn't know what to say. What do you call a vacation?
Weekend. The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry.
Ooh.
Barskins by Annie Proulx. First Love by Gwendolyn Riley.
Oh boy, First Love, huh?
Do Not Say We Have Nothing by Madeline Thiern.
I'm constantly telling you that.
The Gustav Sonata by Rose Tremaine.
I feel like I'm constantly telling you that too.
Stay With Me by, Ayobami Adebayo.
It's not so easy, is it?
No, it's not. The Power by Naomi Alderman.
You know what I've got?
The Power!
I was going to say a red sweater.
Oh, okay.
I'm wearing, yeah.
Okay. Hagseed by Margaret Atwood. Little Deaths by Emma Flint.
Ooh.
The Mare by Mary Gateskill. Mm-hmm. The Dark Circle by... I told you it was the long list.
Yeah, it is
The
the
Dark
long
Circle
list.
by Linda Grant. And finally, The Lesser Bohemians by Amir McBride. So a lot of these we have... Any we can get, so if you're interested, you want to check out some from the long list, let us know, and we'll make sure you have them. Right. And we'll check back in when the short list is announced.
Yeah.
So, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I feel like we need to resolve the argument we were having off air, otherwise it's just going to cloud over us. So,
right.
So I think that, to just come right out and tell you that we're both right. Clarabelle Cow is occasionally the love interest of Goofy.
Okay,
but
Goofy who's a dog.
Yes, but most notably the girlfriend of Horace Horsecollar.
Okay.
Early days, pre-Goofy.
Right.
And then Goofy came along, was like, ugh, get out,
Yeah.
So, anyway, so we're both right.
Yeah. Basically, as you can tell, Nick and I were arguing about whether or not Clarabelle dated Goofy.
Yeah.
From the Disney cartoons, or if she had a previous engagement with a male cow,
Right.
which I remembered as a kid.
Horace,
I guess,
yeah.
is his name.
Goofy has also, over the years, been romantically linked with a character named Glory B. That was in the 60s. Don't know what happened to her. In the 80s, Zenobia, Goofy's girlfriend, and of course in the Goofy movies, Sylvia Marpole.
Okay,
so
of course in the Goofy movies. But do we ever learn who Max's mom is?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
he looks a little like Clarabelle Cow. I don't want to start something, but it's possible. So anyway,
and Clarabelle Cow just left.
Claire, she's around.
Well, I mean, left Max's life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Left their life.
Yeah. Not interested.
Okay.
So anyway, those of you curious about the romantic lives of 80-year-old fictional characters, animated, I should say, that's it.
Do you remember how in those old Disney cartoons, like in the 80s and 90s, if Mickey Mouse was referenced or like was supposed to be on it, they would never show his face. He was always like hidden somewhere or like
No.
he was treated like this figure that they didn't have the rights to, even though it was Disney.
Weird.
He was on Bonkers, but he was in a crate the whole time.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, that's neither here nor there.
That's the most airtime Bonkers has had.
I
in
think so.
20-something years.
Yeah, well, we're getting deep into the Disney afternoon.
Yeah.
Before we do that, because I think I'm going to push our spotlight out, and we're going to do a full.
Yeah, get out.
I want to talk Darkwing Duck. I want to talk Tailspin.
Yeah.
DuckTales, obviously.
Yeah.
No. Let's take a peek at our bookmarks here and see what we've been reading
Oh,
in the
geez. I don't have my
intervening week.
Goodreads open.
All right, I'll
that
tell
means
you.
you're going to start.
I will tell you. I finished some things. I don't even want to mention the title because of your off-color joke, but I finished Backblast by Mark Greaney.
What are you talking about? What do you mean off-color joke?
Never mind.
Okay.
So this was good. It was long. It was like 750 pages.
Wow.
Could have used a little bit shorter, but it actually
So you're saying
held
it
my
was
interest.
a long backblast.
Yes. But it actually held my interest really well.
All right.
So it made me interested to maybe read. This is part of the Gray Man series, I should say.
Yeah.
The current one, Gunmetal Gray, I think is what it's called, is out right now.
Yeah.
Bestseller?
I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know we have that. So if you're interested in the series, check it out. He also worked with Tom Clancy on a couple of novels. Then when Tom Clancy passed, he wrote the next 3 in the Jack Ryan universe.
Okay.
And has since moved on from that, is focusing just on Gray Man. So anyway, I would recommend it. If you like spy stuff,
Okay.
you know, it was kind of had a, I mean, you could see a little Jack Reacher in there, not nearly as violent and a lot more like intelligent, I guess, like, you know, a lot of like hiding out and,
Right.
you know, anyway, a little more on the spy side.
If Jack Reacher wasn't a lawyer,
Yeah.
but instead was a chaplain, you would call him Jack Preacher.
That's good. Yeah, that's
You're
great.
welcome.
I read
Hold
a
on,
script.
backblast could mean fart.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, that's
I thought
what
we
you're...
were going to
okay.
sail through it, but no. I picked up a script called Thursday Evening by Christopher Morley.
Don't know the name.
Okay. This is a one-act play that was performed here at the David A. Howe Public Library the year we opened this building, 1937. So I'm just kind of
that's 80 years ago.
looking into the history a little bit. The play is dated. The
Is this our 80th year?
the misguided racism colors it, so we'd have to excise some lines there.
Okay.
But it did. I mean, it had some funniness to it. Just times have changed, so you know, I can't
In
say
the
go
past
out and
80
read
years,
it.
you sure?
Yeah, I can't. That's true. I can't say go out and read it because of that. But it was interesting to see. Anyway, I finished a couple of graphic novels, both coincidentally by Peter David. Star Trek Archives: The Best of Captain Kirk. I know you've read this, right?
Sure have, yeah.
And Supergirl: Many Happy
Who
Returns.
put this list together? If they think this is the best of Kirk, I hate to see the best of Picard.
Many Happy Returns is a weird. It's like kind of an Elseworld story where that '90s Supergirl who was like not Supergirl.
Yeah, at one point in the early 90s in DC Comics, Supergirl her name was Matrix.
Yeah.
Because she was like made of weird goo and clay.
Yeah, right.
And she could transform into other things,
Yeah.
but she chose the form of Supergirl.
Supergirl.
So
Weird stuff.
weirdly, most people prefer Supergirl as Superman's cousin.
Right.
But for some reason, that's the Supergirl that's in
That
the
was
Death of
back-
Superman storyline too.
That was yeah, it is. That was back when they were like Superman has to be the only Kryptonian. So that's why they did that. But anyway, this is like a story where she meets the real Supergirl, and it was really good. I was surprised.
Wow, huh.
So anyway, those are older.
So you're like me, even though you're just a bunch of clay and stupid.
Right.
You make out with Lex Luthor.
Well, who's the Supergirl from the animated series? Is that Matrix?
They got away with it from the animated series because she's from a different planet.
Okay.
In that one.
All right, so different. All
But they still call her his cousin because they're like neighbored planets.
Right. Got it.
So.
All right. So now I'm currently reading Cheap Shot by Ace Atkins. This is a Spencer novel. So Ace Atkins.
Spencer novel.
Yeah. Ace Atkins picked up for
pretty good.
Robert Parker when he passed on.
Oh, yeah.
This is the first Spencer book that I've read, not by Robert Parker. And so far, it's not as like crisp and dynamic as Parker was. But I think that was.
How hard is it to mimic Parker's writing?
I think to do it well is really hard.
Just write and then delete a few words.
Yeah.
Don't add any adjectives.
Right, yeah, yeah. But it still was, I don't know, Parker had a way of saying a lot with a little, which I think is really impressive. So this style is not as sparse. The attitude is right, and he does that, he said, she said, all the time.
Yeah.
But it's too much.
Yeah.
You know, if you took this and you cut out about a third of it, you might be more like in the lean Robert Parker zone. But I am enjoying it, so we'll see when I finish it if it's good or not. I'm also reading the Rebirth volume of Suicide Squad, #1, Black Vault. Suicide Squad, for whatever reason, is like our most popular series of graphic novels that we have. Suicide Squad and Deadpool.
You mean for some reason?
Well, you know, I mean, I don't
can't
know why.
figure out the reason?
No, I can't really, because the movie was bad. But
everybody loved it.
Okay, well,
the teenagers at Teen Anime Club don't shut up about how great that movie is and how much they love it. That and Deadpool.
all right.
So,
well, there's your answer.
Mediocrity is the new A-lister.
Biting.
Yeah.
So I've never read Suicide Squad before, so this is the first time I've sat down.
So which one
and read it?
Is this?
It's the Rebirth one.
Black
Vault.
Rebirth. Okay,
yeah, Rebirth.
That's fine.
Yeah, it just came out. We just added the store collection, so it's good so far. They're clearly trying to make it familiar to people who saw the movie. So probably not your jam, but I'm liking it.
I've enjoyed all good and bad of the Suicide Squad comics.
Speaking of movies that include Ben Affleck that are terrible, I watched The Accountant last night.
Oh, it was bad?
So bad.
I thought it was supposed to be good.
Oh, it got pretty
mediocre.
bad. Yeah, got pretty bad.
Okay.
It had a real identity crisis. It's like, what kind of movie is this?
This was really not
Ben's
the answer
year,
was critically, was it?
A bad movie. No, because Live by Night also.
Live by
really
Night
tanked.
That and Batman
based
v
on
Superman.
a Dennis Lehane novel. Yeah. Although Batman v Superman is his highest grossing film ever, so I guess it depends on the way you look at it.
Yeah, well, he made lots of money, but
but
people
I don't know. Like him.
They do. I'm kind of turning.
I
kind of thinking like, you know what? It's a pretty bad Batman. It's the Batman who just murders. I don't know. He's kind of a dumb Batman.
Yeah.
So,
well, boy, between this and Bonkers, we're you can see the ticker of listeners just dropping.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for me. So, what about you?
All right. Well, we're not going to gain any back from my reading.
No.
I read Volume 2 of Transmetropolitan.
Okay.
It's such a crazy series. I love this series. This is the one about the guy who lived in the mountains. He came back to the futuristic city to finish his book deal. Okay. His wife froze her head so that she could live for a long time, but the contract says she can't be unfrozen until he's dead. So she put a hit out on him before her head was frozen.
Okay.
And it's just like a funny, wacky story. He's like, I can't describe it. I'm not even going to try to describe anything
but good.
today.
You like it.
I love it. It's so good.
Wow, okay.
Also, I should say this. I just put a hold on StarCat today, our internet system.
Yes.
Because,
where you can request holds from any library in the 48 libraries.
Yes, we did this last week. I think.
Okay, cool. All right.
Library's free. You can use it.
Yeah.
In our collection.
Yes.
The
Accountant is also in our collection, by the way.
The first 20 volumes of Todd McFarlane's Spawn.
Oh.
So I just put a request.
You're going down a dark rabbit hole,
I just requested the first 3 volumes.
I can't go with you on this journey.
You've read Savage Dragon.
This is something you need to do on your own.
Spawn is the most 90s comic that ever existed.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So, and I've never read it.
Yeah.
So I've got to.
You do have to. Yeah. I'm interested to hear what you think.
What if I get into Spawn?
What if I
just
there's
love
no question that you get into Spawn. It's a matter of how deep. That's the only thing.
Todd McFarlane is a pretty good artist, but I don't think he does anything anymore that isn't Spawn related. He's still talking about making another Spawn movie.
Yeah.
We've mentioned Spawn enough.
I'm pretty sure they've greenlit a new Spawn movie.
There's talks of it, yeah. And another animated series. It had 2 seasons on HBO.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
You're right. We're not gaining listeners.
Yeah. Bonkers, Spawn, and whatever we were talking about there.
Yeah.
Batman Affleck.
Yeah.
And I read Queen of Country Volume 1. It's a big collection.
Okay.
I kind of fell off this one. I really liked it at first. And then
I hate when that happens.
Because it's 3 volumes in one. And they're each 6 chapters. And the first volume was pretty good. The art was very, almost early 80s, very sparse. The second one I still liked. It changes art style each book. The third volume, I was just bored, and the art was terrible. They over-sexualized the main character. They gave everybody these weird, witches' noses.
Weird.
It was...
That can be really
Like, the cover has Tim Saul's
bad
art,
yeah.
who did Batman Long Halloween.
Yeah.
And it's really good and dynamic, black and white, fun. But the second one was just, the third volume was just terrible. So I don't think I'm going to keep reading this series.
That's my biggest pet peeve just in reading any kind of book, not just graphic novels, but regular books. You dedicate so much time, you're enjoying it, and then just like somebody lets the air out of the ending.
Yeah.
And it's so like, well, there's, a week that I'll never get back of my life.
Well, I'm also reading, I've said this before, Gateway by Frederick Pohl.
Okay.
So.
Good? You enjoying it?
Yeah. Well, I'm not enjoying it right now. I'm waiting for it to pick up.
Okay.
I couldn't really tell you what it's about. He won a lottery, and so he gets to go be a miner on an asteroid that used to be a civilization of some aliens.
I'm pretty sure you have to be of legal age.
Very good.
Thank you.
Actually, describing it right there, I think I just described the book.
You got it. Okay, good. People know.
Also, I'm going to order more Transmetropolitan.
Okay.
So, but Transmetropolitan.
Keep us posted.
And probably some Spawn next week.
A little bit.
So we're going to find out how great the 90s really were.
Oh, boy. Okay.
The answer? Not so great. Speaking of the 90s, though.
Let's do it.
You're going to go see the Power Rangers movie with me, right?
Yes, I'll go.
Sick.
Yep.
It's going to be fun. You think it's going to be fun?
We're going to be in 7 weeks. We're going to be talking about the
Power
90s.
Rangers?
The 90s.
7 weeks?
So, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Episode
Well, yeah,
90.
books and Oscars.
Hey, you know what? We're really getting close to 100.
I know.
We got what? This is episode 82?
Just
18 episodes.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
You knew how many episodes it'd be till we talk about the 90s, but you couldn't
Yeah,
figure
I
out
think I was wrong, so I was trying to
because this is 82.
get right. This is 82.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
Yeah, what are we going to do? We'll each talk our top 100 books of all time.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to tell all of the secrets about my friends from the 90s. So just
really?
Everything that was going on behind the scenes at school, who was dating who, who liked who.
Yeah.
I'm going to read a lot of letters.
Okay.
I'm going to go through a lot of the MASH games. Tell
we
you
can
who
talk
I
about
was
the
supposed
worst
to marry and where I was supposed to live.
Oh yeah, we'll have to do MASH live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's exciting.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about what the worst movie was that you loved from the 90s. Is it Godzilla or Wild Wild West?
I'm in. Oh boy. All right.
Have
All
you
right.
not?
Don't
You
give
haven't seen
too much
either of
away.
those.
Don't give too. No, I haven't.
You haven't
Don't
seen
give too
Wild
much
Wild
away.
West either?
No, we need to prep for our 90s one. But
okay.
Should we move on to book news?
No, I'm thinking about getting a chain for my wallet right now, so I can't think about anything else.
Yeah, that's great. That's good stuff.
Yeah, let's move on to book news.
All right. So what do you got?
What do I got?
Yeah.
Lovin' is what I got. That's another 90s song.
Good for you.
Remember me. All right. All right. So we're talking about the books that come out March 14th.
Yes.
2017. Hey, this week Beauty and the Beast comes out. You don't care about that.
No, I don't.
Yeah. I think I told you in the car. I was excited, but some of the reviews I've says it's overlong. And
that's another one of my huge pet peeves about movies. Like every movie has to be 2 hours and 10 minutes. Yeah. It's like,
and somebody says all the songs feel like cover versions of the songs you actually like.
Yeah.
So that's rough.
Yeah.
So that probably it would feel even truer since Disney is always putting out like cover versions of their songs.
Sure.
So how's this? Who did the cover version of Tales Old as Time?
Oh.
And the end credits of the.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Not Whitney Houston.
No, it wasn't Whitney Houston.
All right. All right, you look that up. I'll figure out the books of the 14th. Yeah. All right, Before the War by Faye Weldon, London, 1922. It's a cold November morning. The station is windswept and rural, and the sky is threatening snow, and the train is late. Vivian Ripple, 20 years old and ungainly, 5'11", waits on the platform of Dilburn Halt. She's wealthy. This thing needs to start. That very morning, Vivi will ride to the city with the express purpose of changing her life forever. But I won't know how, because I got rid of that.
Celine Dion.
Celine Dion was Tales All This Time?
And Peebo Bryson sang Beauty and the Beast.
Who's Peebo?
Sang with Celine Dion.
That's his claim to fame.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to say Charlton Heston. Now, you tell me what the first thing that comes to your mind when I say Charlton Heston is.
Planet of the Apes.
Okay. What would you say he was in terms of Hollywood?
Well, I don't.
This book is called Charlton Heston, Hollywood's Last Icon.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. Do you believe that?
No.
By Mark Elliott. This is the definitive biography of one of the most iconic, complex, and enduring legends of Hollywood's golden age, whose major presence in American film, radio, television, stage, and theater lasted beyond the second half of the 20th century, whose classic films are known throughout the world.
Yeah, it was a big deal. I think his later years, he was just so involved in like the NRA and gun rights. I think he got more known for that.
Yeah. This is written by New York Times bestselling prize-winning author Mark Elliott. He wrote Cary Grant, Walt Disney, Clint Eastwood, Steve McQueen, and Jack Nicholson and others. This is an unprecedented access with family, friends, and
I miss Jack Nicholson.
He's still here.
I know, but he doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, he's playing the Joker.
No.
Oh, that's 1989.
Yeah, you're thinking of that.
Darn it.
Again, yeah.
What's the last thing he did? When was about Schmidt?
He did, no, that was like, I don't know.
We just got a bucket list.
2001.
We just added
we're going to show a bucket list on the 28th. That's our senior matinee.
Yeah.
Last thing he did was that one with Reese Witherspoon and Owen Wilson. It was good. He was good in it, but...
What was that?
I can't remember what it's called.
I didn't even know it existed.
It is.
Yeah, I can't think of the last time I saw it. Maybe Anger Management.
Yeah.
I saw that movie.
Yeah.
He's not in that movie with Alan Arkin.
Well, no. He was in The Departed. I mean, that was a big...
That's right. That was great.
Yeah.
So,
anyway, sorry, I got you off track.
That's
Thinking
okay.
about Jack Nicholson.
I know. That's a common occurrence with you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Nick, what are you doing?
All work and no play, you know.
Yes.
Makes Jack a dull boy.
Jack Nicholson?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Pretty famous
he worked a lot in
element
the 70s.
Never mind.
Okay, what's your favorite Nicholson film?
Neither here
You're
nor
going to say
there.
The Shining. It's not. You're going to say The Batman.
No, I don't particularly like him in The Shining because he's just so crazy, like
Yeah.
right from the beginning. I don't know. That's a tough question. Come back to me. I pass.
Okay. Not Clockwork Orange. That's not the one. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
I
Nest.
said come back
All
to
right.
me.
Himself by Jesse Kidd, having been abandoned on the steps of the orphanage as an infant, lovable car thief and Dublin charmer, Mahoney assumed all his life that his mother had simply given him up. But when he receives an anonymous note suggesting that foul play may have led to his mother's disappearance, he sees only one option: to return to the rural, not royal, I'm saying rural.
Right.
Rural Irish village where he was born to find out what really happened 26 years ago.
Okay.
You gonna read this? Lovable scamp going on an adventure to find his mother? All right. In this grave...
Now I'm distracted by Jack Nicholson movies. I love A Few Good Men. I love As Good as It Gets.
I wouldn't
I
count.
love Something's Gotta Give.
Uh-huh.
Anger Management's not so great.
You're focusing on a lot of his later years.
Yeah, I know.
You haven't seen his 70s output, I guess?
I guess I haven't seen a ton of his 70s stuff, and I need to go back.
Shining, Chinatown.
Yeah, I've seen Shining. I don't think I've seen Easy Rider.
Easy Rider?
Anyway,
Okay.
let's continue on with our book news.
In This Grave Hour, a Maisie Dobbs novel by Jacqueline Winspear.
Oh, yes.
When are you going to do a Jacqueline Winspear book in your book clubs?
That's a good question. I bet they would like that.
What? That would have to be your page turners?
Yeah, they're mysteries. World War II?
I don't know. The cover of this says, War Declared.
Okay.
Oh, wait. We'll be able to know. Sunday, September 3rd, 1939.
There you go.
There you go. Let's both say there you go at the same time. Ready? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
There you go. Oh, you didn't do it. Okay, I thought we were doing
New York,
okay.
2140.
There you go.
New York's still around in 2140.
Congratulations.
This is a
Wow.
bold future.
I guess
this
so.
is by Kim Stanley Robinson, author of
I don't know.
the Mars trilogy.
The Mars trilogy. Yeah, we had that.
Yeah, and I can't remember it now. He won, or he was up for the Hugo. It came out a while ago. It was kind of big. Oh,
Apparently not that big.
oh wait, maybe it'll say right here. No,
Maybe. Okay. I'm begging you.
Oh,
to finish this one.
2312.
Okay.
Anyway, the water rose, submerging New York City, but the residents adapted and remained the bustling, vibrant metropolis has always been, though changed forever. Every street became a canal, every skyscraper an island. All right, I'm in. Through the eyes of varied inhabitants of one building, Kim Stanley Robinson shows us how one of the great cities will change with the rising tides, and how we will change too. Do you think people have gills? I bet they will.
Probably. They'd need to, yeah.
So, that didn't take long to win me over.
No, it didn't.
So, Saratoga's Payback, a Charlie Bradshaw mystery.
I didn't know where you were going to go with that.
I almost said Springs.
Yeah.
By Stephen Dubins. The latest installment in Stephen Dubins' Charlie Bradshaw mystery. Oh, you know why I brought this up? I thought it'd be funny if this was the Terry Bradshaw mystery.
Not funny, but...
That was funny. Football fans are just cracking up.
Your joke was funny, but...
Oh, yeah.
That would get old real quick. Those 30-second commercials, I'm like, okay, Grandpa. Thanks a lot.
All right. The Cutthroat, an Isaac Bell adventure. Clive Cussler.
Oh.
And Julian Scott. So,
Yes.
Isaac Bell, these are like his gangster books, though.
Oh.
So the covers aren't fun. Because this is just two people.
That's the only thing I look forward to when a new book comes out.
Yeah.
I want to see that crazy cover.
Yeah. Catherine Coulter's doing it, though. The Devil's Triangle, a Brit in the FBI thriller by Catherine Coulter and J.T. Ellison. So Catherine Coulter, she's got her co-writers all set up. she's busy, I guess.
I guess so.
I didn't think she wrote that many books to need a co-author.
Yeah, I think she's sort of like over the hump of popularity, you know.
Oh.
In our book sale, we had like 40 copies of her novel Tailspin. Like the ones you buy.
What was the name of that novel?
Tailspin. Yeah, the characters of the Jungle Book run a small plane emporium.
Friends Forever? Yeah. Another Tailspin.
Yeah, that's it.
Boom, 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 boom. All right. If you get to be Baloo, I want to be Cloud Kicker. Kid Cloud Kicker.
First of all, why if I get to be Baloo?
Because obviously, I might get to be Baloo.
I don't think so.
I could also be Louie. He gets to run that floating gas station.
You're right.
They have just as many adventures as
be Louie.
Cloud Kicker.
Yeah, they do.
Also, we have a young adult book coming out that is on order, so we're getting our copy. Hunted by Megan Spooner. I wasn't going to get this because it looked like every book that everyone had, but people are talking about it. Keep showing up on a bunch of lists. So let's see if I chose wisely. Though Yeva grew up with the city's highest aristocrats, far from her father's old lodge, she knows that the forest holds secrets and that her father is the only hunter who's ever come close to discovering them.
Okay.
Are you in?
No.
It looks like a Beauty and the Beast tale. There we go.
I'm really not in.
Get into it. All right. What do you got?
Well, I'm so glad you asked.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm honored.
Okay.
Well, we're going to talk standard print first, I think, today. We have a fun short story collection called No Middle Name, the complete collected Jack Reacher short stories.
Great.
So, yeah, a lot of these Reacher short stories just come out like in between books. Sometimes they deal with a book. Sometimes they're just their own thing. But I don't know that they've ever been in print. Occasionally, like the hardcover will include like a Jack Reacher short story, but this I think is the first time that they've actually pulled them all together. So this is going to be coming your way in a couple of months. May 16th is when this is expected to have. Something we'll have. I gotta say, I like the cover. It's just a cup of coffee. It's good. It's pretty low key. Makes me want to drink that cup of coffee while reading a Jack Reacher short story.
Okay, good job.
I actually think that the Jack Reacher shtick would work well in the short story form. Much like James Bond. I kind of prefer the James Bond short stories to the long novels. Have you read many?
Any James Bond?
Yeah.
Just the first one, Casino Royale.
I mean short stories.
Oh, then no.
Okay. When Quantum of Solace came out, that's a short story where they just used the title. But they put all the short stories in one volume called Quantum of Solace. And so Quantum of Solace itself is actually a very good story. It just has nothing to do with that terrible movie.
Right.
Let's see. Oh, boy. Dragon Teeth by Michael Crichton.
When is this? What's the actual...
May 23rd, 2017. So Eric has read this.
Sure have.
And I will shortly. And around May, we're going to do a little posthumous release Crichton spotlight. So we'll go in more depth about these then. But Michael Crichton, the number one New York Times bestselling author of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
You've read that one?
Yes.
That's a
couple times.
Okay. Returns to the world of paleontology in this recently discovered novel. A thrilling adventure set in the Wild West during the golden age of fossil hunting. I wasn't aware that there was a golden age of fossil hunting.
That's during the Dinosaur Wars. We talked about it.
Yeah, apparently. A page-turner that draws on both meticulously researched history and an exuberant imagination, Dragon Teeth is based on the rivalry between real-life paleontologists Cope and Marsh. In William Johnson, readers will find an inspiring hero only Michael Crichton could have imagined. Perfectly paced and brilliantly plotted, this enormously winning adventure is destined to become another Crichton classic. Do you agree with that?
It reads a lot like his earlier fiction.
Okay.
So if you've read, like, The Terminal Man... Or
Andromeda Strain?
That's a little bit more sciencey. I'm trying to think of the other one that came. I can't remember.
Okay.
But if you read like his 70s kind of stuff, it feels like that. It feels like his 70s output.
Yeah.
So it is actually golden. The Bone War, the rivalry between the two people during the 1800s to discover dinosaur bones led to them discovering like hundreds of species.
Wow.
So they ruined their lives doing it. But,
sure. But they found some cool dinosaur bones.
Yeah.
All right. Up next.
Some cool dinosaur bones.
Nighthawk. This is number 14 in the Pneumophiles series.
I always call a Nighthawk an owl.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that is what it is.
A Kurt Austin adventure. So if you follow Kurt Austin.
Who
this
doesn't?
is by Clive Cussler.
Sure.
and Graham Brown. The cover for this is a little bit more Cussler, but not as much as I would hope.
Okay.
Numa crew leaders Kurt Austin and Joe Zavala must beat the clock to stop the world's most dazzling new technological advance from becoming mankind's last in this action-packed thriller from the #1 New York Times best-selling Grand Master of Adventure. Laying it on thick. Yeah. So this has like a space shuttle.
What?
Wow. Coming down, like burning up on re-entry.
That's a little bit too modern for me.
I know.
For a Clive Cussler cover.
Yeah.
You can have like a modern day ship.
Yeah.
But nobody really thinks of ships as very like nobody. I mean, a space shuttle.
I know.
It's like aliens showing up in an Indiana Jones movie. Who would do that?
Never. This looks like a Dale Brown cover to me.
Oh.
That's what it looks like.
Okay.
So who knows? I think he's it sounds like he's doing the same thing that Jimmy P is doing, like pulling in these different...
Clive Cussler Presents.
Yeah. Pulling in these different side authors and taking stories and directions.
I think Cussler's kind of stories are done. I think the world has moved very far past them.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Too bad. I would like to read more Clive Cussler, I think, but I don't think I like his writing. But I would like to read more stories like that.
Yeah, they always look very exciting.
Yes.
But I haven't read them.
I've read the Mediterranean Caper.
Yeah.
That's like his first one.
Now, I've seen the Great Muppet Caper, and I don't know if that's an adaptation.
Similar. Yeah, it was similar.
Okay.
Muppet Caper's probably a little bit more sexist.
Really?
No.
Wow. Wowzer. Okay, moving on to large print. So we're going to have these in May, again, May 18th for this one. Colm Tobin's House of Names. They cut her hair before they dragged her to the place of sacrifice. Her mouth was gagged to stop her cursing her father, her cowardly two-tongued father. Nonetheless, they heard her muffled screams. On the day of his daughter's wedding, Agamemnon orders her sacrifice. So that sounds intense. It's probably not something I'm going to read, but you're listing actresses from Father of the Bride.
No,
I was saying
there. I was saying House of Names.
Oh, okay.
It was the House of Names.
All right.
You just go in and you just hear.
Anyway, sounds like a dark tale.
Yeah.
So if that's your jam, we're going to have it in May. Stars Over Clear Lake by Loretta Ellsworth. For the first time in decades, Eric, Lorraine Kindred has returned to the ballroom where she was swept away by the big bands during the 1940s and by a star-crossed romance.
Okay, cool.
As she takes in the magnificent energy and brassy sounds of her youth, the past comes to life along with the fateful decision all those years ago that forced her to choose between personal conviction and social expectations. Between the two men who had captured her heart. It had been a time of great music and love, Eric, but also of war and sacrifice. And now, trying to make peace with her memories, Lorraine must find the courage to face buried secrets. In the process, she will rediscover herself.
Okay, that's good.
Her passion and her capacity for resilience.
Oh.
Yeah.
You probably don't want to have to rediscover your resilience. You probably want that to be something that
it'd be better if it was
just
right there all the time.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So you could just call on it when needed. But I mean, you don't really want to be tested.
You want to live a nice, soft, squishy life.
Yeah, exactly.
People are like, oh, how's your resilience? Like, couldn't tell you. Haven't had to test it.
That's right. All right, well, tell me what's going on the New York Times bestseller list, because I am interested.
I can tell you that The Shack is the #1 ebook and ebook.
Okay.
It's the #1 ebook right now.
All right.
Because of the movie starring Sam Worthington's face, I guess.
Sam Worthington.
Empires and the Star Wars book down to #11.
Yeah, people actually started reading it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chuck.
Chuck went. Oh,
Chuck
Wendig.
Author.
Yeah,
yep.
that should be put in context. Yep. All right, so these are the top 10 books on the New York Times bestsellers list for hardcover fiction. We have number 10, The Whistler by John Grisham.
You're slipping, Grish.
Yeah.
Camino Island's coming out in like 3 months, so he doesn't even need to.
No.
He's like, whatever, buy The Whistler if you want.
Yeah.
I got a new one, baby.
Yeah, it's going to be in paperback soon anyway.
Yeah, I mentioned this one too. This is a weird, like, just coming out of nowhere kind of a Grish novel, so
okay.
We'll see.
Grish, yeah. This will be the 5th Grisham novel you've read and haven't liked?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, you're not much of a Grisham fan anymore.
I know, it's
hey, this is back on the top 10. Number 9, A Gentleman in Moscow by Armor Towels. You remember this?
It's about a sadistic architect?
No, this is the Russian count who undergoes 30 years of house arrest.
Oh.
No, the sadistic architect is down to number 15. The book is called The Girl Before. But now that I say it, it should just be called The Sadistic Architect.
Yeah, that would be good. The Girl Before, yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right,
I've seen that go in and out a lot. That's
because people are like, of course.
Yeah.
Of course the architect could be the villain.
It starts with the girl, so people are like, it's the next girl on the train. It's the next Gone
sure
Girl.
Is,
Just put girl in the title.
Number 8, A Piece of the World. Did we do the bestsellers list last week?
I don't know.
Because I see A Piece of a World, and it says it's been on this for 2 weeks now, but I don't remember it. Imagine the life of central figure of Andrew Wirth's iconic painting, Christina's World.
Yes, we talked about this.
Okay. Da-da-da-da, Christina's World. What was that? Oh, that's Elmo's World.
I don't get it. Okay.
Elmo's World.
All right.
I think I was trying to do Bobby's World. Do you remember how the theme for Bobby's World goes?
Oh, no, I don't remember the theme.
Okay. How's the theme for Tailspins go again? No, just kidding. Number 7, Humans.
Oh, yeah. Humans.
Humans Bow Down.
Oh, yeah.
By James Patterson and Emily Raymond with Jill Dombowski. After the great...
This is like your satirical fake book club where you guys are translating this book. That's what it's become. It's like James Patterson and his co-author and his co-author's co-author. Yeah. And his co-author's team of...
And I'm sure there's a cat
co-authors
who
Sneaky Pie Brown actually helped write this as well. Uncredited, of course.
After the Great War, a woman is determined to save humanity before the...
Wonder Woman?
Victitious. Before the victorious robots wipe it out. This was already done, and it's called Robo-Apocalypse and the sequel Robogenesis. Oh. So read those instead.
Wow.
Number 6, Heartbreak Hotel by Jonathan Kellerman. This has nothing to do...
Fool me. I know it's not an Elvis thing.
It has nothing to do with Elvis.
You just want to get my hopes up.
Number 5, Echoes in Death.
Echoes.
Yeah. By J.D. Robb.
J.D. Robb.
Number 4, The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. Back high up. He's been here for 30 years. But you know what's... I said 30 years. I meant 30 weeks.
It feels like 30 years.
Number 3, though, beat it out. Banana Cream Pie Murder.
Sneaky Pie Brown does it again.
By Joanne Fluke.
Oh, okay. All right.
You just love Sneaky Pie Brown's output, though.
Yeah.
Hannah Swenson, the bakery owner and amateur sleuth at Lake Eden, Minnesota?
Sure.
Returns from her honeymoon to confront an actress's mysterious death. She was allergic to banana.
Oh, boy.
And she ate a banana cream pie.
Oh, no.
No mystery.
Oh, no.
Number 2, Lincoln in the Bardo. Lincoln in the Bardo. Continue it for me.
I don't know.
just kind of like a song.
Are you doing Turkey in the Straw? Oh, okay.
How's Turkey in the Straw go?
I don't want to sing it.
Turkey in the Straw.
I do really want to read Lincoln in the Bardo. I've decided I'm going to put it on like next year's January book club first.
Nice for contemporary classics.
That's right.
It's only been here for 3 weeks. You're already calling it a classic.
Yeah, I am.
Well, I guess with your contemporary classics, you can do whatever you want.
I guess so.
Number 1. What do you think number 1 is?
I don't know.
Would you think that it would be a book about Norse mythology by Neil Gaiman?
No, I actually wouldn't.
This book has been here for 4 weeks.
And it's number one.
I don't think
it's very cool. I was at Burlingame Books over the weekend, and they had a copy of it. It looks very inviting.
We have our own copy. Do we keep it in? We keep ours in nonfiction?
No, it's fiction.
It's so crazy to me. Well, it's a retelling of Norse folklore, and I'm not the boss of this, but I would put it in nonfiction. Mm-hmm. It's just retelling.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe he has his own. Yeah, that's it.
When are you going to read this?
What?
This book.
Lincoln in the Bardo?
The one we're talking about.
Norse mythology.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe soon. I do need to get back in love with reading.
Yeah.
I feel like something's happened.
Something's happened inside of your little heart.
Yeah. It broke. It's because I just loved a book too much, and then it ran away. Ran away with a book that it met at boating school.
Wow.
Yes.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
That makes no
sense
at all.
Boat classes, and they fell in love, and now they left for the seas.
Okay.
And I haven't been able to read since.
All right.
So.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And maybe a little talk of Lemony Snicket's going to cheer you up.
I doubt it.
And now what can only be described as a series of fortunate events. We have our longtime returning guest,
who says
Steve VanValkenburg. Returning, my brother. Steve,
right,
say hello.
Hello.
Steve's here just in time to talk about our old friend Lemony Snicket.
Yeah.
So, I know, Eric, you're real excited about this
Sure
one.
am.
Is that right?
Yeah.
We have a reluctant, somewhat mute second guest, my sister Kristi. Here, just say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I dragged her on because she's the only one of us who's watched the Netflix show.
I've seen enough.
You've seen clips.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen whatever's been on while my wife is watching it.
Okay.
Sometimes I stand there and watch it. Other times I go, huh, and leave.
Like an indignant sort of,
yeah,
I don't need this
like
kind of
snobbery.
a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Who's this for? Actually, we do need to talk about that when we get to the Netflix show because I don't know who it's for.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. Well, I think to dive in, let's first talk about how we first came across this author. So, as we've discussed in an earlier episode this year, Daniel Handler is Lemony Snicket's real name. Lemony Snicket is the pseudonym he uses for basically the series of unfortunate events.
Is this an All the Book Show hot scoop?
No.
Are we the first to report on this?
To break that Daniel Handler is really Lemony Snicket?
This just in, Lemony Snicket, an alias.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
nice.
Not real. You'd think that it sounds like a birth name. It sounds like a natural, I'll name this baby Lemony, but no. No. So it's kind of weird because Lemony Snicket, the author, is also kind of a side character in the series of unfortunate events and like the primary character in the All the Wrong Questions series, right, Steve?
Yes.
Yeah. You've just read one of those?
Yes, first
All
one.
right. We'll have
Like
to dig
how,
into that in a minute, but
J.K. Rowling is always popping up in Harry Potter.
you're thinking of Alfred Hitchcock and Hitchcock movies.
Oh, right. That's
she
what
doesn't.
it is.
Yeah,
Right.
she doesn't show up.
Okay.
She doesn't show up. Okay. Well, to answer my own question, I discovered a series of unfortunate events in like 2001 or 2 when I worked at Willard Library in Michigan. I was doing the shout out. I was doing the book drop. We'd empty a big giant trough of book drops twice a day,
Right.
and it was always like they had 1 million copies of each one of those books. At that point, only a few of them were out, but and they would just every day there'd be Lemony Snicket books in there, and I was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I was already too old for it. I mean, by that point, I was like 19 or so. But I picked them up and I listened to the audiobook. And the audiobook, you know who this is read by?
Is it Tim Curry?
It's Tim Curry. Yes.
That's interesting because Tim Curry also plays Lemony Snicket in the video game.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I've never played the video game.
I
did.
know. I think it's based on the movie.
Yeah, it's based on the movie.
Wow.
Okay.
Is it good?
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Well, what kind of game is it?
You play as each of the children in different levels, and they each have various abilities.
So is
they
it like
get
a
to the
is it like a puzzle
This would be
game?
the PS2, GameCube, Xbox One era.
Oh, that era.
Yes,
Xbox.
It's
sorry.
PS2. Yeah.
Like in Steve's last appearance here, he's just blowing the lid off us with these.
these PS2
did you know there was a
movie
PS2
adaptations,
adaptation? So that's great. Anyway, Tim Curry reading them is great.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the reason why I loved the series as much as I did at the time because he just reads them perfectly. All the snark and all the I don't know style of it.
Look, if you're trying to sell me on Tim Curry,
no, I
you
know.
don't need to.
I know.
I'm already
I
on
know.
boat Curry.
But at one point, I don't. Maybe it's like book 4 or something. Daniel Handler reads it himself. Not good. It kind of like derailed it.
Actually,
and they brought Tim Curry
my
back.
wife was just looking at some Nicholas Sparks audiobooks.
Yeah.
And he reads a few.
Does he?
Yeah.
Nicholas
And
Sparks.
I can't imagine that's good.
Wow.
Because imagine if he had like a really unattractive, gross kind of voice.
Yeah,
Just
that
like a
wouldn't be
slimy
good. That
voice.
wouldn't be good. I think we've devoted too much time in past episodes to Nicholas Sparks, so we'll just move on from there. Okay, so Steve, you read the whole series.
Yes.
All right, and Kristi, you've read
Like 3 of them.
3 of them. Okay, and were you a fan?
Yeah.
But not enticed to continue the whole series.
Right.
3 was enough. Okay. Well, the movie. Have you seen the movie?
Oh yeah, I love the movie.
Yeah, the movie's great, and it's based on the first 3 books.
Yeah.
So there you go. You got your nice little pod of Lemony Snicket that you like. Eric, what about you?
I saw the movie in
You
theaters.
saw the movie in theaters.
Yeah.
Wow. I
Yeah.
think maybe I did too.
I did
That's
too.
a Nickelodeon movie.
Yeah.
I think. Okay.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So-
and the series you've read,
the first
the
book.
first book.
Yeah.
Okay, not for you.
No, it's
Okay.
not for me.
All right. Well, let's dig into it. Here's what I like about it.
Okay.
I think tonally it's weird because it's a we would classify it as a junior book, which is kind of meant for that like 8 to 12 age, but it's dark. It's dark and kind of despairing, and a lot of the a word which here means blah blah blah. That thing he does, that device he uses so many times. I guess it's surprising to me that this series took off the way it did because it is. I don't know who the audience is for. I mean, just exactly like you're saying, Eric.
Not me.
No, I know.
No,
we know
not
it's
me.
not you. We know it's not you.
Yeah.
But I can't. How old were you guys
You
when
all
you read
say
it?
the good stuff about it, and then I'll.
I was probably 11, 12.
Okay, so that.
And I was probably like 10.
Okay, so that's the target age.
Nick, you were about 25.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
I didn't read all the books at once.
Yeah,
it
I
took a
think
while
I
to get through the
finished
whole
it.
series.
Did you? Okay, I read them. I think pretty close together. I'm looking at my Goodreads here. Yeah, I read them kind of right through, and I eventually caught up. So they were still coming out when I read them, and I remember like being excited about the end, which we'll get into the end in a minute.
I think he's.
but-
I think Lemony Snicket's as old as you.
Is he?
He was born in 1970.
That's significantly older than me, and you know that.
1975?
Mister, I can't move a bookcase without having to soak in a hot tub.
That's a secret!
Well, not anymore, sister. Okay, so it felt... Okay, I guess, Steve, you and I are the only ones who have read the whole series. Did you ever find a drag? You know, you get to a point and it's like, okay, fine, they need a new...
I'd never found it boring, if that's what you're asking.
Okay.
I feel like it was a very similar style all the way through, but I feel like that was kind of the point.
Like Harry Potter, the books tend to get bigger and bigger as they go along, where The Bad Beginning is a slim little volume, and by the time you get to, the end, and I think Slippery Slope was also really big.
Yeah.
They're just getting, thicker and thicker and thicker.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this just in, though. Lemony Snicket just revealed that Klaus, a lefty.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
Is that
That's
what you're
everything
saying?
I ever thought about.
Going
this
back
series.
and telling,
Yeah, because it's a
telling
big
the
deal
different
that
things.
whatever her name is a lefty.
Yeah.
No, she's a righty?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
don't remember.
I
All
think
right.
so. All right, so the series of unfortunate events. I'm a fan. I mean, looking at my reviews, I think I liked the middle books. It seems like I like those the best. And the last couple I was a little disappointed in. But I'll tell you what I like about it. I like it feels like it's kind of a retro style. But it also manages to feel like modern as well. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's kind of like La La Land, as we were just talking about. You know,
Did you see La La Land?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You did see La La Land.
Yeah, so because it is modern, it's certainly modern. I think even now, to pick this up now, it would feel contemporary, even though at this point it's significantly, it's like 16, 17 years old at this point. Yeah. I think if you pick it up, it would still feel, current, which is good. And I think that's a testament to how well they're written.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And I think probably the 13 books, the number 13 just fits so well with the series, So I think it was like, well, it has to be 13 books. Although I was always...
What if it was 5?
No, that wouldn't work because 13 is an unlucky number. So five wouldn't really work. 5 wouldn't really work. I tell you, I was always irritated that there's no alliteration in the final book because it's always like Grim Grotto, Penultimate Peril, Slippery Slope. And the last book's just called The End, not like The Eternal End or The Everlasting End or...
Yeah, Everlasting Love.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. You want to sing a few bars?
No, I'm all right.
While you're at it? Okay, that's fine. Something that's always bothered me, and I'm told that some of this is addressed in the new Netflix show, is all of the, MacGuffins that never really, are resolved. You have all these, hanging threads, like the Sugar Bowl. Do you remember the Sugar Bowl? Towards the end of the series, they're constantly trying to get the Sugar Bowl that has these secrets in it about, their parents and the past and the VFD.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of the last books are they revolve around them trying to get this. And they never do. And it's never explained. You never know what's in it. And that's one of many things that are like that are just loose threads. And, I'll give him the credit to saying that's probably intentional. He probably did it like that because it was really about the character journey. But I guess in a series that long, I wanted more payoff than I got in the end. I was kind of like, oh, well, I guess that's it. When it ended, rather than feeling, 13 books in, you want to have a big, wow, that was a huge payoff. And I don't really think that you got that.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So, I don't know. And I to continue on after that with All the Wrong Questions, that's a book that does nothing for me.
You should try All the Wrong Todays.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Is that anything or just...
That's the sci-fi book about the alternate realities.
Okay, yeah,
I'll read
about
that. Book News a long time ago, which I think we should call the book drop now that you've
that's good.
That phrase.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
There you go.
That's really good. So Who Could It Be at This Hour is, I guess, a prequel to the series of unfortunate events because you're following a young Lemony Snicket. But
teenager, I believe.
It's like a prequel spin-off, I guess. Going back to the audios, though, for a minute. Those audiobooks are read by the kid who played Klaus in the series of unfortunate events movies.
Oh, nice.
Which is a cool thing to do, but he's not a great audiobook reader, so that kind of... I picked this book up when it first came out, the first book in the series being Who Could It Be at This Hour? And I tried. I really tried, and I just couldn't... I never finished it.
Oh, I liked it.
Fan.
I breezed right through it.
Okay, all right. Yeah. See, and then in preparation for this podcast, I thought, oh, no, I need to go back and give that another shot. I probably dismissed it too quickly. And I got about halfway through. It was just like, I am not compelled by this. I don't care where it's going. Nothing I want to see resolved. So
I feel like it doesn't have the staying power of the series of unfortunate events series.
I don't think so either.
I find it very likable and easy to read.
Well, that's interesting because I felt like even halfway through, I was like, I have no idea what the plot of this book is. I don't know anybody's motivations. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, did you feel that at all? Or
a little bit, but felt a little more absurd with the characters a little bit than the other one. But it was enjoyable though.
Yeah. Oh, that's absurdity is let's focus on that for a minute, because I think tonally, if you have something like Harry Potter. I mean, even though there's magic and wizards and everything, I think it's very much set in like this world, in a grounded, version of this world that happens to have a magical side. Whereas like Lemony Snicket's books are just in their own weird kind of absurdist world altogether. I mean, the
adult characters are all gullible and
right, and just stylistically, I don't think it's meant to be a representation of like this world.
No, I wouldn't say so either.
And so I think that I felt like with the new series, All the Wrong Questions, that concept sort of got away from him. Because I feel like with the series of unfortunate events, the Baudelaire kids, I mean, their story, like who's going to be their guardian, are they going to end up, they're going to have their happily ever after, they're going to figure out what happened to their parents, blah, blah, blah. That is the driving force. And then you have all of this like tone and things surrounding it. But I feel like with this new book, you have all the like the quirk and the smirk and no substance. Like you just don't.
You should have said.
Nice to your point.
Twerk.
Oh yeah, there's very little twerking in it. So.
Indeed.
Yeah. Sorry. And I don't know, Eric. Maybe being over there, do you ever see these books check out? All the Wrong Questions.
All the Wrong Questions. I didn't even know they existed until you mentioned that.
Okay. There's four of them, and nobody
cares about them.
They never seem to like crest over. And looking at the timeline, I mean, it's almost 10 years between when The End came out and when Who Could It Be at This Hour came out. So that's a pretty long stretch. Yeah.
I didn't even hear about the new series until recently.
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
Years ago.
I think the strength of like the Lemony Snicket brand is what got them put in there, but it didn't. I don't know.
If the series of unfortunate events didn't exist and this just came out first, I don't think it would have been as much of a household thing.
No, I don't.
They're still enjoyable books, but I don't think they have the power.
And I really don't see them being like adapted into anything.
No, I don't either.
So, and I've never read any. I mean, we're not focusing on the Daniel Handler stuff, but I've never read any of his like adult novels. What was entitled the one we talked about it and coming out? I think in August he's got a new adult, but it's all right. It's all right. But Daniel Handler's sort of returning to his roots and putting out an adult novel later this year, which is the first in a very long time. So that I think has a little bit of buzz around it just because of that, because he's kind of switching genres again. But it's the timing, I think, on the new Netflix series is kind of weird. Because it's so far removed from the series, it's so far removed from the movies. I think all the fans of Series of Unfortunate Events are now like 30. So,
Yeah, that's why I don't know who the show's for.
Yeah.
Because, like, if it was on DVD, I wouldn't know if we just put it in TV.
Right.
Or if we put it in family.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I mean, you watch it and, like, it has that, I don't know, it's so repetitive in all its little, like, this can't be Count Olaf, he has one eyebrow, and this guy's got two, like, 8 times, like, every episode. And, like, that's, if you're a kid, you can put up with that, but then...
I think that worked a little bit in the books, because you just kind of accepted that was the tone that you're in. I feel like it would be harder to translate.
The show is pretty, like, gruesome. I mean, like...
Is it?
I mean, people are killed.
Yeah,
it's not, like...
That's true.
In family-friendly ways.
Right.
So, I don't know. It has this just weird vibe. I mean, it does seem like it's like, hey, did you read this as a kid? Well, then this show is for you. It seems like it's for the 30-year-old fans.
So it's more
of
like an
today
adult.
Than like...
I agree.
You don't think like kids would like it?
Like
I
don't
think children would understand.
Yeah,
that
I feel
that
like
stuff's not okay.
Right.
I feel like if you wanted to show a kid, like, the movie would be better than the show.
Well, and the movie has its darkness too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of like the movie.
I like the movie.
To be fair, the movie, I don't know. I didn't like the first book at all.
Okay.
And again, this is probably has to do the same stuff that why I didn't like Eleanor and Park, even though I knew it was like a good book. I just didn't like it because it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Like the first book, it's all like, it's just all darkness. It's all like, boy, sure stinks having these kids get smacked around and living on the hardwood floor and stuff.
Yeah.
And like their adventures, they just read a little bit and then, get free because of a technicality.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm never picking up another one because I couldn't do that for 11 more books.
Yeah.
I don't know. 12 more books.
Yeah.
But as a kid, maybe I would have. But I used to like compare him to Roald Dahl. But when I think about it, like something like James and the Giant Peach, like he has a terrible, horrible life with his 2 aunts, but it's like at the very beginning, and then he has this like grand adventure inside a flying peach with some talking, singing insects. Right. But like that just doesn't happen in this. It's just I just don't like reading it. I'm like, so what's the main story? I guess of the first book. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think it's always meant to be, part of a longer story.
I guess I just didn't see the appeal.
It's
I'm like,
episodic. I think the
really
books
get you
are
to be
episodic.
sympathetic to start with.
I guess I don't get why. Like after the first book, like people like more.
Well, I think that you're meant to be drawn into like their plight and the mystery of it, and you want to see Count Olaf like get punished. You want to see the kids overcome it, and each book, I think there is it gets a little more. There's more hope. Like it gets progressively like the kids have more. They get the better of people more often as the books go on.
I guess my problem is like when you say like you want to see Count Olaf be punished or something. It's like because you said it's not the real world. Yeah. Like Count Olaf in the real world would not have those kids.
Yeah, the whole thing's absurd.
I mean, so like it's kind of like well, how will he get punished? It's just kind of like one of those like. There's no sense of reality in a lot of it, so like there's no real sense like, well, this will work itself out.
And you just read this recently, right?
Yeah.
So I can't imagine me picking it up now and like finding
2 years later after finishing the series.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That would be weird. And I guess an example would be how I felt about the new series, because there's a lot of the same hallmarks in the All the Wrong Questions series, and I just like couldn't see it at all. So, it could be a kind of thing where you're in that sweet spot age. Or a little after, as I was, and you can kind of like roll with it.
Yeah, I guess
it was pretty. I think probably we should remember too the context of when this came out. It was kind of revolutionary in its way. I mean, now I think we have different things. I mean, we're used to this kind of series now with like Spiderwick Chronicles or even
Spiderwick Chronicles appreciates you name dropping them.
Yes,
they definitely need.
But
that.
I think that this was really early on in the development of these like intense series meant for this age, because I think before that, if you're 8 to 12, you've got like Hardy Boys, you've got Nancy Drew, you've got some of the other things like that, and now it's like it's its own genre. I mean, you have Steve loves Artemis Fowl, is that the series? Yeah. Artemis Fowl, you've got the Percy Jacksons, we're used to Ranger's Apprentice, Eric. Sure. We're used to that being a thing now. And I think at the time this was pretty revolutionary to have it.
1999 was the first book.
Yeah, so it's not YA, it's not meant for adults, it's not a little kid series. It's like it's this right in between with an age I think that hadn't really got a lot of this kind of thing before. So, if you're seeing it for the first time and it's a new thing, I mean that's gonna have a lot of like hype with it. And now it's kind of like old hat. Yeah. It's kind of like when I just recently read To Kill a Mockingbird and was like, well, I've seen this 100 times, just because that was early in the stage of that kind of style. Yeah. And I think the same thing's true of these. So, I don't know. Yeah. Let's talk movie just for a minute.
We've all seen Jude Law as Lemony Snicket.
That's right. That is Jude Law. Yeah. We've all seen the movie.
They never show him.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Well,
but that's kind of a thing when you never.
Well,
the pictures
Netflix
of
series,
Lemony Snicket are always from the back.
The Netflix series, he's talking like he's the guy from Twilight Zone.
Oh,
Rod Sterling.
Rod Sterling. Yeah.
So he just like comes right out and does like presentations and talks directly to the audience. He'll just show
Patrick
up.
Warburton?
It's Patrick Warburton.
Okay.
I thought that was an odd choice when I heard about that.
It is an odd choice.
He seems pretty good.
Yeah.
He seems like he could do that for like if they were doing a
Twilight Zone.
But yeah, so he's just like right out there. He'll like a scene will happen and maybe he'll like come out of a manhole and start talking, or he'll be in the audience talking and he'll explain things. So
I thought the Jim Carrey movie did a pretty good job of like getting the tone of the
I thought
books.
So too. I just wish that they had given more time, like make 3 movies instead of 1 where they compress the 3 books into 1 movie. I feel like
I don't think that one of those books could sustain a movie though, especially the early ones. I mean, they're light on plot. The Netflix, they're like a serial.
It's the Netflix series. I don't know how many episodes it's on right now, but as far as I know, it's 2 episodes make up a book, and they've done the first 4 books.
Okay.
So
and it's at least a couple of seasons, right?
It's only 1 season right now.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they've already said they're going to extend it on.
Yeah. So, but 2 episodes is one book, And then
I think
they've only done the first 4 books. So that's as long as the movie is, or is it just the first 3?
The movie's the first 3.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it goes through. I think it's Bad Beginning, Reptile
Window, and Bad Beginning.
Yeah. That's right. But I think that is probably a little bit more suited for the right age group, you know. And I was older when that came out too, and I liked it. You know, I thought Jim Carrey did a good job. I don't know. I think at the time they were thinking they were going to do more.
Maybe.
And then it just never happened. I mean, it never materialized.
I think it clicked more for me when I saw the movie. I was like, oh, this is sad and depressing. Yeah. But like, because they've bring in 3 and it's a little bit more adventure-y as it goes on.
Yeah.
It clicked a little bit better.
It's
Meryl Streep.
Right. It's a good representation of the world. Like, you see all the pieces come together and it really works. It was probably this big internal debate. Like, if we cast Jim Carrey, it's going to be difficult to get a sequel out of it. But how can we not cast Jim Carrey if he's willing to do it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why I saw it.
Jim Carrey?
Because of Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Was like, okay, this looks Tim Burton-y or Roald Dahl-like, and it has Jim Carrey in it. So let's do it.
Yeah.
I really like Jim Carrey. I've heard people didn't really care for him that much.
Oh, really? I thought he was
good.
Some
people say I didn't care for it.
I thought he hit it just right.
I thought it was good.
One negative I've heard about Neil Patrick Harris in the Netflix series, in a review, they were talking about how he's becoming a bit too likable throughout the series because he's Neil Patrick Harris and he's like, going all in and everything. And it's just like you end up liking Count Olaf a little bit more than you probably should, just because you like Neil Patrick Harris doing his thing and being a little goofy and campy.
Yeah.
And so, oh no.
Okay. You want to just pause it?
No, I'll just. Oh,
no, it's gone.
22.
I don't know.
Very, very nice.
Hold on. This is Nick. Hi. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I guess I would probably watch the Netflix show if it was placed in front of me. I think I would at least watch an episode just to get a feel of it.
Well, again, you're probably the target audience.
You think
so,
I am?
Yeah.
I'm the right age?
Yeah.
You don't like it, Kristi, right?
Not really. I agree with Eric saying that, like, Neil Patrick Harris towards the end of it got way too likable, and
just
everybody
fun.
was like, okay,
you're like on Team Olaf.
Well, like, I don't believe that he really is wanting to kill these people and take the fortune, and it's just
also in series form, like, the repetitiveness does, I feel like, cause an issue. Like, by episode 5, it's like, we don't believe, like, you do. It's been 7 episodes. We're ready for you to start believing the kids now.
Right.
I feel like that drags on a bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long each episode are. How long is each episode? Is it an hour or 30 minutes?
like almost an hour, not exactly an hour.
Yeah,
but-
that's rough. That's long.
So that's about 2 hours a book, yeah.
Well, I think one of the things that helps the books with that believability is that, each book you have a completely different cast of characters because they're sent off to some new place. So you don't have a lot of people who are familiar with what's going on.
And there are definite archetypes that keep coming back.
Yeah.
But
lucky for you, since you're such a big fan of Son of the Mask, the baby gets a lot of CGI in its face.
The Jamie Kennedy movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because of the CGI baby when it puts on the mask.
I've actually never seen it, so.
Weird.
I saw half of that once.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, the baby in it, I believe they.
Do you guys remember the creepy baby at the end of Twilight? No, with its creepy CGI face. Just me?
Yeah.
It's so creepy.
Okay.
You need to Google it and look at this creepy CGI baby face.
All right.
Horrible.
Okay.
But that's neither here nor there.
Sure.
We'll save that for the Stephanie Meyers podcast.
Okay.
But which probably won't happen.
Yeah.
Have you read Life After Death?
No.
Gender Swap Twilight?
No, I haven't read any Stephanie Meyer.
Next on your list, though. Okay.
I've seen some Twilight films, and I've seen the host.
They're aided by the riff tracks,
That's
I would
true.
say.
Yeah.
The films. Let's talk. It is. He's got a few. Did you end up reading that?
The Dark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it any good?
Yeah.
What's it about?
It's just about a kid who's afraid of the dark, but the dark helps him not be afraid of him anymore.
So this is more of a. I mean, that's for even younger, right? I mean, that's like
yeah,
an
it's a
easy
picture book.
Okay.
It's just the kid's afraid of the dark. The dark keeps telling him to follow him, so the kid is nervously following down into the basement, and there's a bureau down there, but inside is a light bulb. So the dark was finding him a light bulb.
Oh.
And so then.
Well, that's friendly.
What's the kid's name? I can't remember what the kid's name is, but he isn't afraid of the dark anymore. So it has kind of like a Neil Gaiman vibe to it all.
Does it feel at all like the Snicket books? No, it doesn't. Okay. Well,
the illustration is great. I like the illustration in it.
Okay.
You could probably read it to your kid.
Okay.
Your kid's afraid of the dark sometimes.
Yeah, he loves
the
it.
dark, or more of the monsters
I
you
guess
know
the monsters,
are lurking in the shadows of his
dark,
room.
yeah.
Not so much the dark itself.
His other picture book, 13 Words. Have you read that
Oh,
one?
that's the blue.
That one?
That's the bird
Okay.
one.
The bird one.
Oh
yeah.
boy.
I'm surprised that you don't like that because
I was
really like
babysitting
that.
and I read that book, and oh boy, it is a
fan.
long book. It does not end.
Oh, I don't. Did you read it, Steve?
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I like it. I think that one does feel like Lemony Snicket, like the word play and just the way not really jokes, but the way the story is kind of layered to have like a fun like impact. I think that's really fun. And my son liked it a lot too. So
it was just drawn out to me. I'm like, is this book ever gonna end?
So I guess your favorite Lemony Snicket so far would be The Dark.
The Dark,
it's the only one that you like.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, did you read, what's the one about the band?
The Composer is Dead.
Yes, The Composer is Dead. Have you read that?
Yes, that was very good.
And what age group is that?
It kind of come across as a children's book, but obviously
like,
it's about...
Like a really young?
I wouldn't say really young. I'd say maybe 6 or 7.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
All right.
I mean, it's a little simplistic in the style, but again, it's about the composer being dead and wondering who killed him. So
kids love murder mysteries.
But somehow it still kind of translates, I think, to a good kid's book.
Okay.
It's hard to describe, really.
I mean, how long is it? Is it like 100 pages?
No, I'd say it's maybe 30.
Oh, okay. So
it's not real long.
Smaller. Okay. All right.
It's not really a novel or like a children's book. It's big pictures and everything, but they're very very in the style of the books. But it's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think, and I said earlier that I feel like they still feel contemporary, and I think that's true. But I don't know that they still have an audience. Like, I don't know if somebody picked them up today, like an 8-year-old kid, if they would, find it appealing.
Does the Norse god Thor show up?
No, he doesn't.
What about Zeus of Greek mythology?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know if kids are into it.
Okay, only Rick Riordan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Fun thing.
Maybe kids should read that then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or Lemony Snicket should write that.
Should write it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you like those? You like?
I do.
Percy
I do like
Jackson's.
the Rick Riordan ones a lot.
Have you read the new ones?
I tried to keep up, but then he started cranking them out so fast that just couldn't quite keep up.
James Patterson
Magnus
style.
Chase,
The Trial of Apollo.
Yeah.
He's all,
Pretty good thing about The Composer is Dead, though. It comes with a CD that you can listen to along while reading the book, and it's the orchestrations from the instruments they're talking about in the book.
So it doesn't read the book. It just...
There are parts of it that are read and parts of it that is orchestration.
No, Nick, you're
It
going
comes
to have
with
to
a
read the
CD
book
free.
yourself.
I think it was fun.
Okay. All right. So I guess are we fans of Lemony Snicket?
I'd say yes.
Fan.
I intend to read the
Eric,
rest.
what
of
about
the...
you? I think your feelings on this have been you've been playing it close
Muddled.
to the vest.
Yeah,
whether you like it or
yeah,
not. Can you come out definitively and say
I'm not a fan?
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
all
fine.
right.
And it's fine. Like, it's just I'm too old to get into a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
And it's not my thing. And it's not one of those things where I'm like, this is objectively bad.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
Yeah.
If I had kids and they were reading them, I don't know. Maybe I'd get into them secondhand.
That's I think about the only way that I would ever pick up a Lemony Snicket book again. I'm a fan, definitely.
Right.
I like the movie. I really like the series. I was anticipating the next books as they were coming out. I really liked what he was doing with them.
Yeah.
They're not for me now, but
they're
I feel
quick. So like if your kid wanted you to read the Lemony Snicket's books to them before bed, like you could probably crank one out in less than a week.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. And I think like maybe when my son is old enough to read them, this and Wizard of Oz might be some series that I try to read to him. Yeah. But I don't think that I'd be interested to check it out again. Yeah. The adult book he has coming out under the Daniel Handler, under his real name, that sounded fun when we did our like books of 2017. The synopsis and the little excerpt I thought sounded fun, so I might check that out. Yeah. But
I think I'll plan to reread them at some point.
Really?
I think I would like to.
Are you going to finish all the wrong questions?
I believe so. Yeah.
You're going to read all 4?
I like the first one.
All
I think I can give the other ones a chance.
You'll have to check back in. We'll do a satellite episode. We'll go remote.
Sounded like all the wrong answers to me.
We'll send our senior intern Roger over to Steve's house with the microphone.
That's true, Roger?
Is he going to do it, Roger?
No.
It's a vacation. You can.
All the cereal you can eat.
Yeah, see? Right there, Cereal City, Roger. Yeah. He can't. He doesn't.
Roger considers the 60s to have been his decade-long vacation.
Oh, okay. So now he's back and just he's not ready to work. I don't really.
No, he hasn't been ready to work since the 60s.
Whatever. Ishtar, what about you?
You were 30 then?
I probably would if I was a little younger, but
okay. Do you consider yourself a fan of Lemony Snicket?
I do like his writing.
But you don't think that you'll finish Series of Unfortunate Events, the books?
Well, I might.
You might.
I
okay,
might.
So maybe we convinced her. Maybe we convinced her to give it another shot.
You could finish it before the next seasons of the show comes.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can get ahead of it. Are you going to keep watching the show?
Yes.
Oh,
I probably
okay.
will.
Well.
Just to see how it goes.
Okay, well that's something. She's hooked.
Are you going to start watching Fuller House, Nick?
I've seen the pilot. You're a fan.
It is so good.
Okay, right.
You watched the pilot of Fuller House?
I did.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch the Christmas special?
Maybe.
They've got more coming.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't know you watched Fuller House.
I did.
I don't know how we didn't do an episode on it.
Just an episode on Fuller House.
Just,
we should branch out and do an episode on like TV reboots.
Oh, boy.
We'd have to stretch out over 4 or 5 episodes.
Plenty of material now.
Yeah, I know, seriously, that's the new game.
I'm surprised. Well, during Bookmark, you didn't bring it up ever.
That I watched Fuller House?
Yeah.
I don't think you understand the concept of Bookmark.
No, we sometimes talk about like a show we've been watching or a movie we just saw.
Okay. Well,
I think you were embarrassed that you watched Fuller House.
No. After all the times I've talked about Star Trek and Murder, She Wrote, clearly I'm not embarrassed easily. But
all right.
I liked Fuller House, the pilot. Yeah,
Netflix knows
it
what
was
it's
just
doing
like
with
the
this
old
stuff.
show. Although
It was.
Kristi says it's dirtier than the old show.
It is a lot
Probably.
dirtier than the old show.
Yeah.
So,
but I haven't watched the
now
old
we
show in
know.
a while, so I don't know. I remember there was the one where Jesse and Rebecca got married, and Joey had to explain to Michelle that they were doing their taxes.
Oh,
So, and she's
Are they
like,
gonna
well,
do
how
their
long are they going to do their taxes? Probably for a couple of weeks.
look out!
Yeah.
Wow,
So-
that's some saucy material.
Yeah,
Full
coming
House.
from Uncle Joey.
Yeah.
So
seriously, cut it out.
Yeah.
Am I right?
So, but yeah, Netflix knows what it's doing. Like
I guess.
I listened to this other podcast.
I guess.
Um,
Although we don't really know that because they won't tell us their numbers.
that's true.
So
But
maybe it's just Kristi watching Fuller House. We don't know.
This podcast I listened to, one of the people mentioned that Netflix, when they make a show or a movie, it is always exactly what they intended it to be.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when they made Fuller House, it is exactly Full House today.
Yeah.
And like Lemony Snicket's is Lemony Snicket.
Yeah.
Stranger Things is like an 80s sci-fi horror. It's just like, because I guess they have more freedom. They can just make something that's exactly what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So.
Well, their schedule is probably easier for them to do like long stretches and things.
The
So,
Marvel shows, yeah.
Right.
Luke Cage is like this weird blend of like modern life mixed with like a more positive spin on blaxploitation.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know what they're drinking over at Netflix.
But whatever it is, keep it coming. So,
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know why we're talking about Netflix now, but it
Because of
happened.
Lemony Snicket.
Lemony Snicket.
There,
Okay,
yeah.
so it's a natural transition.
Okay.
All right, so we've got 2 fans. Kristi's like, yeah, okay. Eric is aggressively anti Lemony Snicket. So that's our conclusion
I did
here
give
today.
the first book 2 stars on Goodreads.
Yeah. That's what I gave all the wrong questions. And I will say we do have these in our collections. We have multiple copies of all of Series of Unfortunate Events. We have all the wrong questions. We have the kids book. We have the movie. We are fully stocked for all of your Lemony Snicket needs. So stop in and check them out. Any final thoughts before we close the book?
I could go for a Pepsi.
It's not. I should have. I'm sorry. Any relevant closing thoughts?
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I can see the look on your face, and it's not gonna go somewhere helpful. All right. Well, my thanks to our returning guest, Steve.
Yeah.
He's 5-peating like Brady. You know, this is his 5th.
Yeah.
So I made a football reference.
Yeah.
Do you want to congratulate me? You want
yeah.
like a high five, maybe?
Sure.
Woo!
All right.
Okay.
5 rings, Brady.
Yeah, and Kristi's making her debut.
Yeah.
Look, you did talk.
I did.
Even though I grabbed the chair, pulled it over, and was like, sit down.
Yeah, you've got her tied to that chair with karate belts.
I do, yeah.
So-
yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you for
She
mentioning
looks like
my
she got her triple yellow. Though,
karate
so that's
belts.
really
Yeah,
cool.
she did. Congratulations. Yeah.
So-
Yeah, she'd beat the crap out of you.
Yeah, with all those yellow belts, I
think
wouldn't
so.
be surprised.
All right. Well, thanks, guys.
All right, get out of here so
pleasure.
we can do the rest of the show.
That's right.
Wasn't that great?
Yeah. She really didn't want to be on the podcast, but I made her anyway.
You
So,
did.
You know. Yeah.
I didn't.
No, you weren't involved.
Somebody doesn't
You
want to be on
weren't
this
involved. So,
podcast,
Kristi,
then-
sorry about that.
Yeah.
Eric was not involved.
Yeah.
So,
But Nick did force your hand.
yeah, I did.
So.
I did.
Steve, you don't have to force.
No, he's
Steve
ready.
just shows
he's ready
up.
and willing.
Yeah.
He's like, you tell me what to read, I'll read it. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think next time he's in town, we'll do James Patterson or something. Oh. We got to do it. We talk about him so much. We got to spotlight him. Yeah. You haven't read any.
That's
including
very true.
Including
that's right.
Your Christmas book shot. Anyway. All right. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Kristi, for joining us. Let's talk library news. What do you have coming up?
Oh, I don't know, man.
Okay.
Lots of stuff. Lots of great stuff.
Yeah.
But you start so I can recollect my thoughts. I'm sorry. I think I'm having a sugar crash.
That's fine. No, I'll take it. We have Emerald Isle Irish Band coming back this very week, March 16th. We have them the day before St. Patrick's Day. Pretty exciting.
How much will tickets to that great show cost me?
Gig. I'm glad you asked, Eric, because they're free of charge.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Library's the best.
Yeah.
Maybe something better than a library.
I can't.
I probably could.
I can't. This concert was funded in part by the Cattaraugus County Arts Council grant that we received this year. So thanks to our pals over there. Emerald Isle is always a hit. We're always glad to have them back. Just a fun show. They're fun guys. We always have fun, to say that word again, but we do. Like in the sound check and stuff, we're just like laughing, and they've been here annually for a lot of years now, so they're very comfortable here. And
80 years since we opened.
It's a good all 80 years they've been here. Yep. So we have that. We have a couple movies showing up. We're going to show Monsters University. That's our family matinee this month on the 18th at 10:30.
Great.
We mentioned already, but our senior matinee is The Bucket List.
Yeah.
Showing that on the 28th.
That stars
at 2. That stars Morgan Freeman and
Jack Nicholson.
That's
your favorite Jack Nicholson movie.
I haven't seen it actually. Okay. So maybe I'll sit in with
I haven't seen The Witches of Eastwick.
I haven't seen that either.
So, and that has Cher?
Yeah, I think it does.
So, how have you not seen it?
I don't know. If I could turn back time, I'd watch it right now.
That's the song you pick?
Sorry. I can't believe I chose that one.
Oh, no, wait. Go back to Turn Back Time.
Do you believe? And I'm done. I can't. That's all.
Sorry about singing Cher right there.
That's okay. Book Club's currently reading... what is this one called? I can't even remember. The Julie Spencer Fleming one, Fountain Filled with Blood. I've been looking at all of the titles because we did a display, so I was going through them. We're reading Fountain Filled with Blood, book 2 in the Claire Ferguson series. Julia herself is going to be here on March 31st. Yeah. We'll have Burlingame Books here to sell books. Good time. Good time will be had by all. Contemporary Classics
prefer
Book
a
Club.
Fountain full of chocolate, if we had to be honest with each other.
That would be better. Right. Contemporary Classics, of course, reading The Nest by... Dupree Sweeney. What's her first name?
Cynthia.
Cynthia Dupree Sweeney. Yeah. So far,
you're not
what
liking
I'm hearing from the book club is that this is not good.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it myself.
But Amy Poehler loved it.
I know.
But I think she might wants to be in the movie.
Might have teed me up too to think that it was going to be like clever or funny. Yeah. It's really not. It's just kind of a telling of this.
Well, Tina Fey didn't say anything about it. Maybe your humor.
If that doesn't sell you on wanting to be in this book club, then I can't help you. I can't help you. After that, we're doing The Keeper of Lost Causes by Jesse Adler Olsen, which I've never read one of his books before. They're super popular, so looking forward to that. After Julie Spencer Fleming, we're going to do a Tony Hillerman, The Blessing Way. It's going to be our first Tony Hillerman book. So.
Who am I thinking of? I'm not thinking of Tony Hillerman. Must be thinking of Kellerman.
Yeah, Jonathan Kellerman.
Yeah.
Or Faye Kellerman.
Yeah.
A lot. We're doing like
Or Karen Slaughter.
Yeah, this is just word association at this point. All right, did you remember what you're doing?
Yeah, we have our Teen Anime Club every Wednesday at 5:30. It's great. We're upstairs in our sweet teen loft.
Yes.
So if you're older than 18 and you're not in school, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This teen loft is off limits. But if you're one of those super cool teens still taking your classes, come over to the David Hay Public Library.
To the teen zone.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting. Thank you to whoever donated the couch. I don't know who it was.
I haven't asked if she's comfortable with us sharing the information yet.
Regardless.
Yes, we had a very sweet pleather.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's the kind
of... It's a great couch.
It looks like leather, but it's comfortable, and you don't mind if something spills on it.
I see.
It's great, though. I love it. I could fall asleep on that couch right now.
We posted this on Facebook. A community member just stepped right up and said, yes, I'd love to donate a couch. So we're very grateful to them for doing that.
What won't we have? Oh, we've got our teen photo show coming up.
Yeah.
So end of April is when we're collecting photos. So you got about a month now to get your photos ready, framed and brought to here.
Historically, we've had very low participation from locals from Wellsville.
But the surrounding towns.
I'm calling you out, folks.
Oh boy,
people of Wellsville.
Yeah,
got to represent. at the teen photo show.
Last year,
the kids still say got to represent.
Last year was the first year we had the Houghton Academy.
Yeah,
and they brought a lot.
They brought a few. Yeah.
So that was great. We just went to the Makers Fair here in Wellsville. You've probably seen posters or heard about it on the radio if you're local. The elementary school hosted the second, I think it's only the second one, Makers Fair. It's just tons of different technology, tons of different crafts and everything. It was huge. Went from 9 to 3. People were packed in there all day. We showed off our Makey-Makeys, which are little devices that you can you hook into your USB drive, and then you hook into items that can conduct a current, such as fruits and vegetables or tinfoil or Play-Doh, and they can act as a keyboard. So I had people playing the games Shovel Knight and Crypt of the Necrodancer using a banana.
So not super practical, but very cool.
Yeah, like some people will expand it and put each clip on their stairs, and then they can turn their staircase into a piano.
Well, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So
I actually typed my whole board report with a banana.
Did you?
Using the Makey-Makeys, yeah.
Great.
So it took me 12 hours.
Yeah, I would have to.
But I did it.
And we also brought over our
Snap
Circuits. Yeah, Kate, our children's librarian, was there as well.
Shout out to Miss Kate.
Yeah. So, to Miss Kate. Yeah, it was a really good time. We met lots of people, high-fived lots of kids.
Did you?
Yes, because also, since humans are conductive, Nick, if I hold one of the wires and the other person is grounding it, they high-five me. That acts as the keyboard registers it.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
I always knew you were a tool, but to be used...
What a turn.
Yeah.
What a return of Friendly Card, which, by the way, is one of the albums I have framed. Vinylly.
Yeah.
In my...
your office is pretty decked out.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't have any vinyls here. You've got this one Paul McCartney Band on the Run.
Yeah, I got Band on the Run.
That was a gift, yeah. It's not framed, though. It's just kind of hanging there.
No, it's not.
But these shelves that's a good use of the shelves.
Thank you, buddy.
You're probably going to have to take a picture and tweet that now.
Sure.
Your Band on the Run.
Yeah, that's a good mention. You can follow us on Twitter at All the Book Show.
Great mention.
On Facebook, David A. Howe Public Library. We always want to hear from you.
Yeah.
And remember, rate us on iTunes. We need some love. That helps people find us.
Yeah.
The more ratings you have, the easier it is for people to search and find your podcast.
That's very true.
Do us a solid and rate it. Next week, we're going to be talking about some of
Beauty
our favorite...
and the Beast.
March continues to be Women's History Month, so next week we're going to be talking about some of our favorite women authors. So if you've got thoughts on that, send them our way. We'd love to share them.
Listen, I don't know how long I'm going to talk about K.A. Applegate next week, okay?
I hadn't even thought of that.
It could be just the regular time I would give to any author, or it could be the entire show and you don't get a word in edgewise.
Yeah.
But if anyone could be credited as raising a young 8-9-year-old Eric.
Yeah.
Be K.A. Applegate.
K.A. Applegate. Wow. Okay, we'll save a little bit of that magic for next week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back in episode 83.